Hey there, my name is Mark Buffa, creator of Spectre Bowling, the Proshop app. If you're a Proshop operator and need some help managing your spec sheets and also making you more efficient behind the drill press, make sure to check us out at spectrebowling.com. Also, check a link in the description below for all of the other how-to videos and the things that we have shot over the last couple of years. In this video, we're going to explain how to get started with the app and some of the features that I like to turn on in the app to help you make better use of our system. So stay tuned. For this demo, I'm going to be using my iPad mini. Again, Spectre Bowling is available for iPads, Android tablets, and also Windows devices, Windows 10 devices. So if you haven't already, check the link in the description below for all of those videos explaining basically how to install it or even how to buy the software. So let's go on over to my tablet here. Getting started on Spectre Bowling is pretty self-explanatory, but one of the things that I really want to make sure that I hammer home on this video is to make sure that you start in the settings section. Okay, this is a fresh install. So if you go here into the bowlers pane, you see I got no bowlers on file. This is a brand new install. So I click on the gear icon, and this is really where you can dive in and make Spectre yours. Okay, everybody drills different. I like drilling a certain way. I like seeing my data a certain way. And if you want to use the system properly, you have to go through these settings. And 9 times out of 10, when I have clients that are saying, hey, I don't like this or I don't like that, it's because they didn't even look in the settings section. So it is pretty deep now. We have added quite a bit to it. So make sure to take 5 minutes, go through this. Once it's done, you're done, and it's set for life. First off, language. We are available in English, French, and Spanish. It is a quick toggle. So as you see there, as soon as I switch to French, everything switches to French. So it doesn't really bog down your system, doesn't need to restart. Really cool there. Next is my personal favorite, and one of the first things that we built when we were building out Spectre is the auto suggestions. I myself am a IPSIA master instructor, and when I'm teaching a lot of people the ins and outs of ball drilling in the HOTS class, and they're brand new to ball drilling, it seems very overwhelming, and there's a lot of things that they can forget. So the auto suggestions are great for that. And for someone like me, or maybe even someone like you that's been a ball driller for 15 plus years, these are great because they save time when you're filling in your spec sheet. I don't write paper notes anymore. Everything is done on my tablet. It's tethered to my drill press. And as a client comes in, I take the tablet, punch everything in. So like that, I make sure that there's no data entry mistakes that happen overnight. If ever you have any questions or want to know more about what the auto suggestions do, because in this video, I'm going to be going pretty quick, on the right-hand side, if you tap, you're going to see all the explanations of what is what. So in this case here, the first one, thumb pitches based on flexibility. We've all seen this chart in our pro shops. This chart is incorporated inside the app, but you have to turn that feature on. So I'm going to turn that feature on, and we're going to see a little bit later on during the demo what that does. The second one is the CLT fan chart that Mopinel has pioneered over the years. So if you learned that at the innovative classes, you could turn that on as well. Fill bridge is basically just, it's going to fill in the IPSIA suggested bridge for a fingertip or conventional drill. So again, I'm not going to go through all of these in detail, but I'm going to turn that one on. Sorry, the fill bridge there. The one that I turned on before that was the lateral pitches based on bowler hand. So by default, the system is going to spit out 3/8 lateral left for a right-hander and a half lateral right on the ring finger. And for a lefty, obviously it's flip-flop. So if you change the bowler from righty to lefty, those will flip-flop if you turn this feature on. Okay, so this one here that I'm going to turn on and off, this one here. Okay, next is the insert OD. So that's the outer diameter of the insert, and we're going to see this a little bit later. So basically it will auto-populate that for you. So if you pick, let's say, a misquad grip or a large size insert, it's going to tell you what size that the outer diameter hole should be. Same also for any type of grip. And then lastly, the repeat insert type and repeat insert size. Again, this is a great auto suggestion just for quick and easy data entry. You're going to notice throughout the app that all of the fields are drop-down values. Very quick and easy. You don't need a keyboard. This app is very touch driven. So if you have a touch device, great. If you need to use a mouse, that's great as well. However, we did build this with the UI to be more touch friendly. Next up, this is really your default preferences in the app. Okay, so system defaults here. Again, 80% or 90% of your clients that are going to walk through your door are going to be right-handed, so might as well just specify that by default, the app is going to think that the bowler's right-handed, and if the guy's lefty, then just switch it up there. Okay, same thing with fingertip. Mostly you're going to be drilling fingertip grips, so that's why we suggest that as a default. You can always change it. Next up, display measurements. Do you like seeing your pitches in fractions or in thousands? Okay, so it all depends on how you like to do it. I personally like to see things in fractions because when I'm writing things on my spec sheet, I usually would write back in the day when I learned how to drill still using pen and paper, I would write a quarter in the reverse. I wouldn't write .250, I would write 1/4. So if that's how you're used to seeing it, that's fine. But if you want to see, decimal 250, change that to decimal. Okay, so again, personal preference, you do what you want. Next up, pitch increments. So do you like seeing your pitches in 16ths, 16th plus, which 16th plus is the same as 32nd, but just a different way of looking at it. So I like doing my pitches in 16ths, but again, if you want to be, super analytical, you can go up to the 64ths and it's going to give you all that. However, don't forget, the more data you have in those drop downs, the longer the list. Tread carefully with those 64ths. Same thing with the span measurements here. You could do it in 16th, 16th plus, 30 seconds. Again, same thing here. I like measuring and also doing 16th plus because sometimes the 30 seconds come into play and it's a lot easier to display it and a lot more friendly to the eye, in my opinion, in 16th plus. And again, this is my personal preferences. Whatever floats your boat, you can go into the settings and change it your way. This is just the way that I like seeing my app. Next up, your oval degree increments. Do you cut ovals in 5-degree increments? So like, do you write 30 degrees or 35 degrees or 40 degrees when you're doing your oval inclination? Or do you want to give your clients that extra mile where you're going 32 degrees on the oval or instead of going 30? Well, you could do that now. You just change that to the nth degree and you're good to go. I do everything in 5-degree increments. I just find that there's not that much of a difference. But again, if you want to do a 32-degree oval, you can. You just need to set that oval degree increment to 1 degree. Next up, it's going to be your drill press calibration, okay? Because of the fact that there's positive and negative values when you're doing oval cuts, we need to know if your drill press is set a certain way. By default, all of the machines that come from Jayhawk and Innovative have the setting that is default in the system here. If this is not the case, take an extra couple of minutes and check it on your drill press. So, is your machine calibrated to be positive if you are going right pitch? If that's the case, turn it on. If you're positive on the left pitch, then you're going to turn that off. Again, forward pitch in the thumb, is it displaying positive on your digital readout? If that is the case, turn that on. If not, turn it off. This is going to be key when we get into the automatic oval calculation. Okay, again, this is just the settings. We're going through this right now, just going through the settings. If you want to know more about oval calculation, link in the description below or head over to your YouTube channel. Next up, thumb hole preferences. Do you want the app to always offer you oval suggestions for every bowler, or do you always do round holes? It's up to you. I do ovals most of the time, so I'm going to pick that as my default. Next up, your oval calculation process. Do you cut with vertical and horizontal, or do you cut just horizontally? If you have an ovalmatic and you twist the ball 30 degrees and just go laterally, you will want to pick this horizontal value. If you do not want to use the oval calculation algorithm in the app, just hit the manual button here and you won't even get the button. It basically just deletes the button. I like putting my ball on the center line axis and using the vertical and horizontal coordinates. So I'm going to leave it at that setting. Again, your preferences, your way, you set it the way that you would like. Next up, when doing your oval, do you add the pitch to the cuts? Best way to explain this is if you have, let's say, a 1/4 inch reverse on the thumb, is that going to be displayed 0 to 50, or is it going to be displayed 0, 0? When I learned how to drill thumbs, I would set my pitch, and then on the digital readout on the drill press, I would press the 0 button, the initialize button. So basically all my math starts from 0. If you don't do that and you like to see it displayed there and you want it to add to that number, then you got to turn this on. If you do like me and you always start with 0, 0, you set your machine, you press the 0 button, you want to turn that off. So again, depends on how you like to do it. That's that on-off toggle for that. And again, if I was teaching someone brand new and I'm not giving him an extra step, I would turn that on. Next up, your oval. How do you cut it? Do you want the pitch of the hole to be in the middle of the thumb or the top edge of the thumb? The way that I like to explain this is your pitch, if you're going, again, a quarter reverse, do you want that 0 250 cut to be at the top of the hole or in the middle of the hole? That's the way that you need to think about it, okay? So again, your way is the way that you've been doing it for years. You pick the way that it is there. So either you're doing the edge or you're doing the center. I like doing it from the center because I believe that when you're measuring pitch, it's from the center of the hole. So that's just the way that I like to do it. But if you measure from the cut, it does that. The way that the app will display it, again, link in the description below for the oval calculation video, we display it from the top to the bottom. So it's always one direction. You're not doing ovals bouncing around because it makes too much movement and you're wasting time on the drill press. So because we do the calculation for you, we do it in one fell swoop. Very easy to do. And lastly, on the arsenal section, again, we are just in the settings section here. What layout type do you like to use? Okay, again, this is just going to pre-populate a lot of the drop-down values, okay? So if you do dual angle, it's going to offer you your drilling angle, your pin to PAP distance, and your VAL angle, okay? So 2 of those values are angles and 1 of them is inch measurements. So that's why it's important to set it up here. And if you pick VLS, in the drop-down values are gonna have the inch values instead of the angle values, okay? So again, do what you please there, or you could just set none and it's going to give you a text field and you can type in what you would like. And then lastly here in the settings section is the backup and restore buttons. If you're not a pro member, which is our monthly subscription, which does automatic backups and also data sharing across multiple devices, this is the way to back up your data. So it creates a zip file and dumps it anywhere you would like on the device. You could then copy paste it onto any cloud service that you might have, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, Box, whatever it might be. Just copy paste it into there on your device and you're good to go. And then lastly, the version number. When filming this video, we were on 2.143. Again, we continuously try to update, and you can check all the updates on our website, spectrebowling.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom to read the patch notes, and yeah, just check it out there. So again, I hope this video was very helpful to you on how to go through each and every one of these settings, because like I said, when you're installing this for the first time, or maybe there's a quirk that you don't like on how the software is behaving, check the settings because we might have addressed it there in the settings for you, okay? You can always go back to the settings, turn some stuff on and off, and it won't affect your previously saved data. It's a really cool feature there. Contact us, spectrebowling.com, head over to the contact page. Any questions you might have, there's also an FAQ page on there. Check us out on Facebook. That's where we post a lot of our patch updates as well. And again, check out our YouTube channel. Make sure to like, subscribe to our channel. Like this video if you appreciated it, and also subscribe to the channel for all of the other how-to videos. And again, thank you for choosing Spectre Bowling, the Proshop app for your bowling pro shop. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.